the morning. Eye-opening and balanced. The DBS Morning News starts right now.
A former educator and first president of the Dominica Association of Teachers to be laid to rest today. The government of Antigua to regain and retake control of Sailing Week, and India and Pakistan accuse each other of firing missiles at air bases as conflict intensifies. Good morning. Welcome to the DBS Major Morning News. It is Saturday, the 10th day of May 2025. The details of these and other stories when we return.
Yo, what's up?
Baby, let's go!
Turn your TV on. Listen to DBS on Digicel TV Channel 50 and Flow TV Channel 951.
DBS News.
Welcome back. I am your presenter this morning. My name is Joseph Fadul. First up this morning, a former educator and first president of the Dominica Association of Teachers, Kenneth Samuel, is being laid to rest today in Marigot. Public Relations Officer of the Dominica Association of Teachers, Juanita Carbon, says the association remembers the contribution of Mr. Samuel to education in Dominica.
The Dominica Association of Teachers will be paying tribute to a founding father and stalwart of the association, the late Mr. Kenneth Samuel from Marigot. Mr. Samuel, the first president of DAT, will be laid to rest on Saturday, 10th May 2025 at Marigot following a service at the Zion Methodist Church. Teachers wishing to attend are asked to contact the DAT's office or the Public Relations Officer, Ms. Juanita Carbon.
That was the Public Relations Officer of the Dominica Association of Teachers, Juanita Carbon. Minister for Education, Octavia Alfred, says the government of Dominica has contributed over $400,000 to early childhood institutions for the last academic year. Her comments came during the official handing over ceremony of the Early Childhood Development Space at Caleb Laura Primary School in St. Joseph on Friday. The minister also urged the private sector to partner with the government to improve the standards of early childhood services in Dominica.
Early childhood is the foundation of lifelong learning. In this regard, the government of Commonwealth of Dominica remains steadfast in its commitment to uplifting the early childhood sector. To date, Cabinet has approved the engagement of 54 early childhood educators at our government pre-kindergartens and 4 roving caregivers. Additionally, several practitioners at private institutions are employed under the National Employment Program. For the last academic year, a total of $462,500 was paid as contribution to all registered early childhood institutions on the island. Now, 64% of all our government-owned schools now have early childhood centers. In addition to Caleb John Laura, we were able to expand and enhance early childhood centers at the Cassibruce, Bacatel, Jones Bopia Primary School, and created a new center at the Salibia Primary School under the OECS school. The ministry continues to encourage private partnership in the sector, and we make an earnest plea to the public to help to maintain the standards that are necessary for the delivery of quality early childhood development services.
Minister for Education Octavia Alfred. The Early Childhood Development Space at Caleb Laura Primary was established as part of the OECS Pearl project. Director General of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States OECS, Dr. Didicus Jules, says the goal of the OECS Pearl initiative is to enhance access to education for the most vulnerable learners.
This ceremony is part of something much larger, the OECS Pearl Initiative, a program that embodies our collective commitment to equity, quality, and transformation in education. Funded by the Global Partnership for Education and implemented in partnership with ministries of education across our region, the Pearl aims to expand access and improve learning outcomes, especially for our most vulnerable learners. Here in Dominica, the significance of this work cannot be overstated. These new and refurbished spaces, such as this one, and others, including Jones Beaupere, have been carefully identified through comprehensive audits. These audits were informed by the Early Childhood Environmental Rating Scale, ensuring our interventions are not only targeted but transformative. These physical upgrades, furniture, learning materials, and age-appropriate instructional tools are only part of the story. Equally important is the investment in our educators. Teachers and caregivers associated with these spaces have received and will continue to receive specialized training to ensure that they are equipped to nurture early learning in ways that are responsive, effective, and inclusive.
Director General of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, OECS, Dr. Didicus Jules. Bishop of Roseau, Most Reverend Kendrick J. Forbes, is hopeful the new Pope will be a beacon of hope and unity. On Thursday, Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost, who has chosen the name Leo XIV of the United States, was elected as the new Pope. He replaces Pope Francis, who passed away recently.
My brothers and sisters, we join the Universal Church in celebrating the announcement of our new Pope. Today, May 8, Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost, age 69, of Chicago and prefect of the Congregation of Bishops, was elected Pope. He is the 267th successor of Peter and Supreme Pontiff, and he has chosen the name Leo XIV. As pilgrims of hope, we give thanks to Almighty God for the gift of our new Pope. I invite the faithful of the Diocese of Roseau to join me in praying for Pope Leo XIV as he begins his Petrine ministry. We pray that he be granted an abundance of the gifts of the Holy Spirit as he leads the flock of Christ, and that the Holy Spirit will guide him in effectively facing the challenges of today's church and world. On behalf of the clergy and the faithful of the Diocese of Roseau, I extend congratulations to Pope Leo XIV. May he be a beacon of hope and unity.
Bishop of Roseau, Most Reverend Kendrick J. Forbes. Well, in related news, President of Dominica, Her Excellency Silvani Burton, has extended congratulations to His Holiness Leo XIV on his election as the new Pope of the Roman Catholic Church after 2 days of voting in conclave. In a statement, Her Excellency said, on behalf of the government and people of Dominica, on behalf of Mr. Burton and herself, she wished to further congratulate His Holiness on being the first Pope born in the United States of America and the 267th successor of St. Peter. President Burton says she is happy, proud, and honored to convey congratulatory remarks not only in her capacity as head of state, but also as a devout Catholic and lay associate in pastoral care. Her Excellency added that she was filled with joy and pride witnessing this very historic moment and a global conclave, and to be part of the celebration and joy that unfolded in such an organized and precision manner before the whole world. Her Excellency the President says she is certain that His Holiness will continue to champion the cause of the poor and most vulnerable amongst us, and will be a voice that speaks love, peace, and justice, also charity, unity, humility, and dialogue in this troubled world. Her Excellency Burton stated that as a global figure with a wealth of knowledge and many talents, she has no doubt His Holiness will continue to work of his predecessors with diligence and dedication, and the relations that exist between the Commonwealth of Dominica and the Holy See will be further strengthened under his leadership. In more news this morning, the Independent Regulatory Commission, IRC, is nearing completion of the ongoing rate review for DOMLEC. The IRC will present a modernized electricity rate structure for DOMLEC at a stakeholders forum scheduled for Tuesday, May 13, 2025. This forum will provide stakeholders with another opportunity to provide feedback before new rates are approved and applied.
A stakeholders forum has been planned to present the IRC's modernized electricity tariff structure for DOMLEC. This takes place at the Prevost Cinemas Ballroom on Tuesday, May 13th. Stakeholders will weigh in on the revised tariff structure before the new rates are approved and applied. As Dominica's electricity regulator, the IRC believes a revision of the tariff structure is necessary. It reflects today's economic realities and makes provisions for more choices based on customers' consumption. Later this year, the IRC and DOMLEC expect to present its final tariff proposals at a public consultation on DOMLEC's cost of service study and rate proposal. The rate review should be seen as an all-inclusive process, and this is why IRC continues to encourage participation by all sectors.
Communication specialist at the Independent Regulatory Commission, Idona John Baptist. The European Union has announced the launch of the Dominica segment of its Bridges of Innovation initiative. A talk series which will begin on Monday forms part of the initiative. Dr. Kimon Joseph is head of the University of the West Indies Global Campus, Dominica.
The European Union, the University of the West Indies, and the National Bank of Dominica Limited are proud to present Dominica's segment of the Bridges of Innovation campaign of the European Union under the title of the Connexus 2025 Talk Series on Monday, the 12th of May 2025. And we are quite pleased that Dr. Phaedra Marie Saint-Hilaire, who is a researcher and investment consultant with over 20 years experience on issues of diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, will be discussing the very important topic, unlocking Caribbean potential through angel and impact investment. And that discussion will take place at the University of the West Indies Global Campus Auditorium on Monday, the 12th of May 2025 at 6 p.m.
Head of the University of the West Indies Global Campus, Dominica, Dr. Kimon Joseph. Meantime, Dr. Joseph encourages entrepreneurs to take advantage of the talk series.
The public is invited to attend this important forum, as Dr. Saint-Hilaire will be exploring how inclusive investment strategies can bridge funding gaps for underrepresented entrepreneurs. Her talk will highlight the role of angel investors in the Caribbean and how we can foster innovation, the importance of leadership, and actionable strategies that will create sustainable high-impact ventures in Dominica and the rest of the Caribbean region. So we invite entrepreneurs specifically, but anyone who has an interest in learning more about angel and impact investing to join us at UWI on Monday, the 12th of May, 2025 at 6 p.m. in the UWI auditorium.
Head of the University of the West Indies Global Campus, Dominica, Dr. Kimon Joseph. Cultural Ambassador His Excellency Leroy Wadix Charles has called on Dominicans to take ownership of the Poker Run event. The third annual Poker Run, which will be held on August 24th, was officially launched yesterday. Ambassador Charles, who is also one of the coordinators for the Poker Run 2025, says this will positively impact the community tourism products.
In the summer in Dominica, there are very few activities, but this one is going to be, and mark my words, within the next 5 years, the greatest event or festival after the World Creole Music Festival and the Jazz and Creole Festival. Just mark my words. And there are several advantages with this particular festival that we want us to claim this particular Poker Run Festival. I'm appealing to every single Dominican to claim this as yours. Why? Because several communities are going to be benefiting, which is called community tourism. We are going to make several stops en route to Tukari from the capital city. So several communities are going to be economically better by the advent of this major festival. It's also a sporting event, so it's also sports tourism. And to my mind, it's a cross-fertilization of cultural tourism. So once again, you're seeing a real cross-fertilization of sports, of culture, and most importantly, community tourism. And we all know how strong and how important community tourism is.
Cultural Ambassador Leroy Wadix Charles. Meantime, President of the Portsmouth Association of Yacht Security, Andrew Cobra O'Brien, is calling on participants of this year's Poker Run to exercise the necessary caution.
Something that is crucial that we need to understand with Poker Run is that we have to be each other's keeper, in the sense that even if the Coast Guard is engaged to provide security for the event, the Coast Guard cannot do it all. We as PAYS, who are the security people in the harbor, we cannot do it all. The police on land cannot do it all. The most crucial people to really make it happen is we ourselves, the participants. For example, on that day, you're going to have high-powered boats, faster boats, slower boats, and you're going to have the four-stroke engines vis-a-vis the two-stroke engines. Some are way louder, some are silenced. But you will have people who want to jump overboard. Last year, part of the act was swimming with Dominic, that's a dolphin resident in Portsmouth. Many people on their way to Tukari stop and swam with Dominic in Prince Rupert Bay. But imagine if we are not paying attention and we just want to show off with our high-speed boats and we're just running in the recreational areas, the kind of accident that can happen. So what I would like is, if you, the captains and the boat owners, are hearing me today, it is your responsibility to run your boat with caution.
President of the Portsmouth Association of Yacht Security, Andrew Cobra O'Brien. And the finals of the Dominica Association of Teachers Spelling Bee competition takes place next week. Public Relations Officer of the Dominica Association of Teachers is Juanita Carbon.
The Dominica Association of Teachers, in collaboration with Macmillan Education Caribbean and Jays Limited, presents 2025 Spelling Bee Finals for primary and secondary schools on the island. The competitions will be held for 2 days. Monday, 12th May, will see 12 secondary schools doing battle, while on Tuesday, 13th May, the primary schools, namely Christian Union Primary, Lighthouse Christian Academy, Monjon Primary, Paybush Primary, Roosevelt Douglas Primary, St. Martin Primary, and St. Mary's Primary, will compete for the top spot. Also forming part of the primary schools competition will be the Champ of Champs contest. 9 students will compete among themselves, each one hoping to emerge as the top speller. And these 9 students will come from the Lighthouse Christian Academy, Christian Union Primary School, St. Mary's Primary, Roosevelt Douglas Primary, St. Martin Primary, and the Roseau Primary Schools. The DAT will continue to organize activities which will help students to improve their performance in literacy.
And that was Public Relations Officer of the Dominica Association of Teachers, Juanita Carbon. Let's move to news in Antigua, where the government of Antigua and Barbuda has announced that it will not renew the expired private license for managing Antigua Sailing Week, citing disappointment with this year's event. Officials have reportedly expressed concern over declining participation, with boat numbers dropping from 142 vessels in previous years to fewer than 50 in recent times. Well, on Wednesday, cabinet members summoned Senator Philip Soule, chairman of the National Parks Authority, NPA, and executive director Anne-Marie Martin to provide explanations regarding the management of the annual sailing competition. The cabinet was told that in 2007 and 2008, former tourism minister John McKinley privatized Sailing Week by selling the franchise to the Antigua and Barbuda Hotels and Tourism Association. Following this privatization, a license was granted to a private individual who gained control over determining the events that would categorize Sailing Week. Moving forward, the government has pledged support for a more inclusive approach to the event management. A committee comprising of all stakeholders will be established to plan and execute Sailing Week 2026, with promised backing from the government to revitalize the annual maritime tradition. Internationally, India says Pakistan has used missile to target its bases hours after Pakistan accused India of firing 3 of its military air bases, or firing missiles at 3 of its military air bases. As the conflict intensifies, India's army accused Pakistan of being escalatory and provocative, while Pakistan army claims to have destroyed India's S-400 defense system, something Delhi has denied. Both sides accuse each other of cross-border shelling and missile and drone attacks since India launched its military operation. Indian-administered Kashmir has seen a decades-long insurgency which has claimed thousands of lives. India and Pakistan both claim Kashmir in full. We've come to the end of this morning's edition of the Morning News. Stay tuned. The best in sports comes up next, right here on DBS.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fenced pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Just Mobank me. Here's my ID.
Just Mobank me. It's that easy.
The faster, easier way to bank. NBD makes it easy to bank online, anywhere, at any time with Mobanking. The faster, easier way to bank.
The faster, easier way.
So transfer funds on Mobanking.
The faster, easier way.
To pay your bills with Mobanking.
The faster, easier way.
So order checks on Mobanking.
The faster, easier
Pay employees on Mobanking.
The faster, easier way to bank.
Plus, you can now top up your phone on Mobanking. No need for cash or card. Simply log into Mobanking to top up your phone. Visit nbdominica.com or follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more details.
The faster, easier way to bank.
NBD.
Your partner, your bank.
Welcome to the DBS Major Morning Sports. First up this morning, ITSS student Mishak Dubole exploded for 52 points, putting his school on his back literally, but his shoulders were not broad enough as his Superman efforts were just not enough as the Dominica State College beat the ITSS to lift the 2025 Sports Division Secondary Schools Boys Basketball title yesterday evening. The ITSS scored 56 points in the game. Dubole scored 52 points all by himself, but the college won comfortably in the end, 77-56. Kaloy Paul scored 33 points for the State College and was named the finals MVP.
Well, we went into the game to give 110%. And thank everybody, all my teammates. Defense, we had great on our defense. Our offense was flowing. Yeah, and we did great. Yeah.
Entering the game, we all knew that the ITSS, the danger man was Meshach Debole. He still got his points, but how did you guys work around that, to pull off the victory?
Well, we had subs to give. We had great defenders, so we had to put one on him. If we had to double team, we had to get the job done. So yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Successful year for the State College. It's been a while since you guys have won the competition. So your thoughts on the season?
Well, this season was great. The competition was tough, I find.
Somebody say as usual.
Yeah, looking forward to next year for sure.
No.
All right, and your thoughts in terms of the other guys who really stepped up and helped you. You have Dred Swandy and some other guys who really stepped up this season.
Well, yeah, I want to thank Nigel for sure, Dred Swan, Bian, rebounding for sure. They were top on rebounding, and to thank them for that. Ephraim for defending great, and yes, and to thank all my teammates for sure. They did.
State College captain and MVP Kaloy Paul, ITSS captain Mishak Dubole says his team gave it their best shot.
It was really tough at that time, but the experience was great, which we compete for. But it's always a good experience to go against good players, which my team not really good, but they can get experience, which they can come back and play the other game.
What was the toughest part for you in this finals? I mean, entering the match, you knew that all the odds were against you, but How did you prepare for it mentally?
You see, from the last game now, I understand there was triple teaming and pressuring me from the top. So now I use my brain and decide not to foul out, which I pass the ball around and mostly move around so I can get the ball open. But now I spread out the court, which made them. The court is kind of big, so which made them unable to guard me fully, so I can just clear past them and just make it up and get fouls. So it's basically like an easy game for me, but I did not the help I wanted. So, but at least my teammates played good defense, which I really was surprised by. But yeah.
All right. Is this your final year at this school? Do you have another year?
I have another year, so that I will be coming back. So I promise that for sure.
ITSS captain Mishak Dubole. Meantime, in the girls division, well, there is no question as to who is the MVP in the girls basketball. PSS student, Portsmouth Secondary School student Lamaya Ford stole the spotlight, leading her school to their 5th straight title, beating the Convent High School. Ford scored 22 points, 7 rebounds, 8 steals, leading the PSS to the 44-23 win. Delicia Julian scored 13 for the Convent High School. Here now is PSS coach Washway Douglas.
We played well, not the way I think that we should have played, but good enough to win. We have people like Limaya, that was her last year, so I wanted her to go home with a championship and look for higher things to come, because she's one of the sports people I think that will do very well for Dominica. PSS, we have to continue fighting hard, and I think on a whole, hopefully good things will keep on happening.
All right. 5 championships, Washway, but what makes this one special for you as the head coach?
Well, not so much about me. I'm just the coach, and we do before in the morning. We come in the morning before school, and we come in the afternoon. For instance, Ria was there this morning before school. Talif was there yesterday morning before school. Limai was there yesterday morning before school. So we do before after school. And I hope that some children understand that winning championship is not just come in and play. You have to do a lot of practice, and hopefully we continue that tradition.
All right, 5 in a row. As you look to make it 6, you're going to be losing Lamaya Ford, who's graduating this year. But what do you think of your chances next season?
Well, next season we have to start working out from now. I think we have some players there that haven't really played, so we have to start working out from now. But I think if we work hard, we should be all right. You know, it's going to be tough. I will tell you that straight. It's going to be tough, and I just hope that we can make it next year. But right now we have to enjoy the 5. You know, we can't get too carried away right now.
PSS head coach Washway Douglas. CHS Convent High School head coach Dunstan Maggie Peters says despite the defeat, he was proud of the fight that is from his team over the course of the season.
Yeah, man, well, really it was tough, but I'm really proud of the Convent girls because it's a long while Convent haven't had a team, more than 10 or how much years, I can't remember when last. So to make a team this year and then train for a couple of months and to reach to the finals, that in itself is historical. You know what I mean? So I have to commend them for that. You know what I mean? They come up against a team in Portsmouth that is 4 times champion with Washway Douglas doing a great job down there. And that just goes to show to the sports associations and them in basketball and all the other sports in them that all it takes is to have good coaches in the different schools and we can get the athletes and them that are willing. You understand me? So the Convent girls never had a team, and just they check us. We put a team together, myself, Denver, Eggy, and the teacher, Miss Johnson. And we stood together with them and trained them, and they reached all the way to the finals. Honestly, I expect them to win maybe 1 or 2 games. I honestly, as a coach, didn't expect them to reach the finals. So I'm very pleased.
CHS head coach Dunstan Maggie Peters. Well, in some more basketball news, the DABA's Elias Dupe Knockout Cup title will be decided tonight. The Pebble Eagles will battle the Happy 767 Sports Club Dominators in the finals. That game gets underway at 9:30 tonight and will be carried live on DBS Radio. Well, the Windward Islands Infernos, moving now to some cricket, picked up the wrong night to put on their worst batting display as they crashed to an 8-wicket defeat to the Leeward Islands Thunder in the CWI Emerging Players Playoff in Trinidad last night. The Windwards made just 69 batting first. John Jeremiah got 14, Noel Leo got 12, Anderson Mahas took 4 for 10, Nathan Edwards 2 for 21, and Kofi James 2 for 28. The Leewards hit 70 for 2 in 9.1 overs. Kofi James got 56 not out. Ryan John took 2 for 29. The Leewards won by 8 wickets and will play Trinidad in the finals. Staying with some cricket, this time with the women, Zeta James scored a half century as the Windward Islands women ended their campaign in the CWI Regional T20 Blaze Tournament on a winning note, beating Barbados last night in St. Vincent. Windward's women posted 121 for 3 in their 20 overs batting first. Zeta James hit 51, Afi Fletcher 35. Barbados reached 109 for 9 in their 20 overs. Keisha Knight scored 54. Afi Fletcher bagged 2 for 17 and Karina Noel 2 for 12. The Windwards won by 12 runs. The Windwards will finish the tournament in 4th place. Jamaica will meet Guyana in the finals later today. Let's come back to some local sports, this time in cycling. Cyclists will test their endurance this weekend as the Dominica Cycling Association stages its 4th road race of the season. Sunday's race will test the riders' ability to climb as the race heads to Belleville Chopin.
The Dominica Cycling Association will be hosting the 4th race of the 2025 cycling season on Sunday, May 11th at 9 a.m. at Maboyd's Bar. The event, dubbed King of the Hills, will feature riders competing from Woodbridge Bay to Santa Roma, heading to the Botanical Gardens onto Newtown, and climaxing with the challenging hill climb to Belleville Chopin. Registration starts at 8 a.m. Road users are urged to remain vigilant and exercise extreme caution within the designated routes. We would like to thank all of our sponsors for making this event possible. Main sponsors include HHV Whitchurch, Josephine Gabriel and Company, KFC Dominica, and the Dominica Olympic Committee. The general public is encouraged to support the events, during which one lucky mother among the spectators will receive a Mother's Day gift. Compliments the Dominica Cycling Association. Garant Ducre, PRO, Dominica Cycling Association.
Action resumes this weekend in the 2025 Dominica Cricket Association National Cooperative Credit Union sponsored Premier League. 3 matches will be played starting this afternoon. At the Botanic Gardens, KFC Summit Sports Club will be in action against Convenience Plus hitters, while at Benjamin Park, it will be the Kalinago Blasters versus the Tremors. And in Grand Bay, the Grand Bay Credit Union Colts will come up against the Najigo Northern Stars Sports Club. The matches begin from 1 p.m. this afternoon, while on Sunday, action starts from 9:30 a.m. Also want to remind you, just before we leave, the second friendly between Dominica and Barbados takes place tomorrow afternoon at the Windsor Park from 4 o'clock. Of course, if you can't make it to the stadium, DBS will bring you audio of the commentary game from the Windsor Park. We've come to the end of this morning's news and sports. Just a few highlights before we go. 9 o'clock this morning, we have Connecting the Dots on your nation station, DBS Radio. Of course, it's a 2-part program this morning right here on your nation station, DBS Radio. And we will tell you the first guest will be Marie-Therese Junkier, championing the rights of older persons. And part 2 will be about Atlanta Caribbean Carnival 2025. Alvin Thomas, Kanita Shillingford, and Joseph Geist are the guests. Of course, Ivona John Baptist Luge, Nigel Francis come through. Ambassador Leroy Prince Wadix Charles comes through at 3. Dr. Miguel Labadie comes through from 8 tonight. And of course, basketball action on the DBS Radio YouTube channel from 9 o'clock tonight. The finals. You can look at it on YouTube tonight. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, DBS Radio on YouTube. Great programming throughout the entire weekend. And of course, it's not too early to tell you of the finals of the DBS Radio Felix Henderson 2025 National Reading Competition. Thank you very much for joining me, Joseph Fadul, this morning on the Morning News. Keep it locked. More great programming coming up as we continue the morning right here on DBS.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe, and Rudolph Thomas can meet all